Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to call our subcommittee curriculum and programs to order. It is June 2nd and approximately 4:33. I do just want to take a moment because I did hear Mr. Marcos Carrera ask if we would have a quorum and just acknowledge that unfortunately I had an emergency the last time we were supposed to meet. And so I apologize. I know how important your time is, and I really I'm sorry for the delay in us meeting. So I will move to the first agenda item, which is a vote to.
Let me just call a roll.
Oh, yes, please.
I'm sorry.
Absolutely. Please call the roll.
Sorry.
That's okay. Ms. Hurst,
Present.
Ms. Gresham,
Present.
and Ms. Naylor.
Present.
Great.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
No.
So the first matter on the agenda is a vote to recommend to the full school committee that it approve the visual and performing arts courses, vocals 1, 2, and 3 honors, and senior musicianship honors. Superintendent?
Yeah, I'd like to turn it over to Julie and the team she's put together on this.
Sorry, muted. Thank you so much for having us. We appreciate your time, and I'm going to actually turn it over to Marcos Carreras, who developed the course, and he can give you the overall look at what is being hoped to be implemented for next school year.
Thanks, Julie.
Hi, everybody. So the premise of this is to just create a focused program where we have 15 vocal majors on average, as opposed to choir majors, if that makes sense. Kids who sing in choir, a lot of our students are specialized by the time they get to juniors and seniors. So they'll be doing college auditions based on their particular fields, whether it's dance, an instrumental major, but for vocal majors, the kids audition for college as vocal majors. And so having the curriculum to be able to give them the tools necessary to focus on other pedagogy to prepare them for that is really important part of this kind of program that I'm trying to relate, because it doesn't exist right now in the program offerings that we have. And so trying to create something new that's really specifically designed for their success over the 4-year period in high school is the premise for this whole curriculum development, if that makes sense.
Sure does.
Definitely. Mrs. Gresham, Mrs. Naylor?
Yes.
Any questions? Yes,
Yes,
please.
Vice Chair, thank you. So with the vocal, this is singing?
Correct. It's all singing based.
Okay, and choir is what?
So choir is a group instruction. So typically a typical choir will have around 20 singers in there, based on their development. So we'll have a freshman choir, we'll have about 20 singers, we'll have a sophomore choir, and then your advanced choirs will typically have around 18 to 25 singers, but a general big choir. So a school like, say, Central, where it has a large capacity, they'll have maybe 100 kids enrolled in the choir program. We're a school of 350, about 150 kids at the high school, and we will never have more than 50 to 20 kids enrolled in a choir program. We're too specialized. So this will have maybe 3 freshmen, 5 sophomores, which I have right now, a couple of juniors, and right now I have no seniors. So eventually, I have students who are studying on Broadway right now, who are getting Broadway coaching each week. And again, that's my 3 top singers, and they received $11,000 worth of scholarships in vocal training. Again, that's not choir. That's specifically the voice, the individual training. And so the program that I'm providing is giving these kids really highly specialized individual training as opposed to a choir setting. Right. That's not what we offer. Our kids are particularly majors in a particular craft. That's why they come choose the conservatory, to get that training so that they can go to college and study in the arts for that sole reason. Okay. So this allows me to help that. And Mr. Kelly, go ahead, join in, Mr. Kelly.
Usually you let the chair call on people, Marcos, not the guy presenting, but
Oh,
thanks for opting for me. I appreciate that. I was going to actually ask you to explain just to help people understand better what you mean about the individualized training. Maybe you could explain what you did with Blessed after school and how that resulted in her getting accepted into those programs.
so a focus point is teaching kids about the classic literature, so French arias, Italian arias, opera training, which the regular school day does not afford to do that. So by having these programs, so after school, I would meet 3 hours a week with a particular senior to help them prepare for college auditions. And we did that for about 6 months, 3 hours each week for 6 months. And from that experience, she was accepted to all of her college programs, and full scholarship at a couple of them. And so I'm doing that actually right now within the curriculum that we have, but it right now is being pigeonholed as a choir program, which it is not. A choir is teaching the collective whole, singing gospel music, jazz music, our classical repertoire, and I'm really not able to do that with a cohort of 12 kids. And I don't see it getting larger than that because of our focus, our true focus and specialization of the individual voice. And so part of that is to make sure we're true to the curriculum course that we're offering. And at the present time, I'm not able to do a traditional choral setting like what we had in high school. We had 100 kids in the choir and we sang 50 songs a week. I'm not able to do it. I really have to focus on their individual training. And we'll do duets and trios and small ensemble work, but it's truly not a choir curriculum. It's not able to fit that mold because of the numbers. We're not a school of 1,000. We're a school of 150 high schoolers.
Okay. All right. Thank you. You seem so excited about it, so that makes me excited.
Well, part of it.
Always excited with the kids too. which
Yeah, I was gonna say, have you
Right.
ever seen him
Yeah.
not excited?
infectious.
Thank you.
Mrs. Naylor, do you have any questions?
No, I don't. My only question was going to be exactly which school, but he answered all of those questions. So I agree. It sounds very exciting, and any opportunity we can give our kids that can enhance and prepare them for their future, I want to be a part of it. So thank you.
Fantastic. So if there are no further comments or questions, I will ask if there is a motion to move the vote.
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
second? Thank you. So moved by Mrs. Gresham, seconded by Mrs. Naylor. Roll call vote is required. Please call the roll.
Yep.
Terry, thank you.
Yeah, Ms. Hurst,
Yes.
Ms. Gresham,
Yes.
and Ms. Naylor.
Yes.
Fantastic. This matter passes. Congratulations, Conservatory.
Yes.
All right. So the second agenda item is vote to recommend to the full school committee that it approve the visual and performing arts courses, community action through the arts. I'm assuming that the acronym is CATA. Is that okay? Great. So
CATA,
CATA
yes.
1, CATA 2, CATA 3, and CATA 4. Superintendent.
I'll turn it over to Julie and Tom. For stuff.
Thank you again for considering this recommendation for community action through the arts. The course was developed by Mindy Rosengarten, and so I'm going to request that Mindy speak to the actual content of the course.
So I wasn't sure whether we wanted to do this via the PowerPoint with the kids in it or me just discussing the course with you, and I'm fine either way. Is there a preference?
We're happy to see and listen to however you think would be best and would give us the most comprehensive.
That's why I put it together in a PowerPoint, because
Sure.
this is something new. This is not something that you can kind of like refer back to as I've done this before.
Okay.
So if I could share my screen, that would be great.
You should be able to.
All right, fantastic. Thank you. And then if you have questions after, I'll be able to answer them. All right. Is everybody seeing it?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you for considering our course proposal. The CATA curriculum integrates the performing and visual arts into learning about social justice topics and how to create social change through community service and activism. Portrait of a Graduate identified the critical skills our students need to become informed citizens, to actively engage in making our community and our world a better, more socially just place for everyone. We have a responsibility to grow those skills in school. The CATA curriculum focuses on 28 of the 35 targeted areas. Social movements have always been advanced through the visual and performing arts, and all students can effectively learn these vital skills through an arts-integrated approach. Students may create art. They may learn by studying the art of others. Both approaches trigger the highest level of inferential and abstract reasoning. This four-year curriculum also incorporates active participation in community service and develops self-directed learning skills. That's the educator's rationale. The more important insights come from the students. So I'm turning the mic over to them. Kai, one of our 11th grade students, expresses their thinking through art, poetry, narrative, and explanatory writing. They created this image to capture the essence of CATA, as well as the logo displayed on the first slide. This is what Kai had to say about the course. I feel this class has brought good things to some students. Schools would get to tackle human rights and issues, and it opens students' eyes without political bias on what is going on in the world. Throughout this year, our being in CATA class has been an interesting learning experience. We share opinions, ideas, art, and personal stories. We connect and learn about ourselves and others, which helps us produce ideas on what issues to tackle and how to talk about these issues in our own ways. Having this class district-wide would give students an option to have these uncomfortable conversations on real-world topics for a better understanding without a political standpoint.
I have been a part of CATA for about a year now, and it has truly been a life-changing experience. Because of this class, my perspective on many things going on around the world has changed because of how well we have been informed and the awareness that has been spread throughout this course. I do believe that this course is extremely useful and can bring many other students, and not only students, but communities to spread awareness and make a change in the world. There are so many other things going on in the world that sadly is not brought much attention, such as police brutality, poverty, and/or homelessness, and so many other things that we as a community can help if we just come together. That is what CATA is all about. Yes, we stay informed on things going on around the world and come together to make changes, but more than that, there's unity. We are a family.
In my eyes, community service learning is an essential class for an individual student's growth. In our 3 quarters, we've learned how to identify fake news, look for issues going on in the world, and what we can do to make those issues go away. Our class is unlike any other. That's because we're student-led. We work with each other to set up curriculum and activities and also assignments. If you're outgoing, great. If you're introverted, no problem. Your voice will be heard. This class has also helped me work on my social skills, like right now. Unfortunately, I won't be attending conservatory for my senior year because I'll be moving out of Springfield. But I'd still be happy to see this class become an essential class in every Springfield school. Maybe even the school I'm moving to.
I believe that CATA, Community Action Through the Arts, should be a course if people will want to take it or not, because it helps in many ways. One being, it helps people become more socially active. Since we are students, the CATA project will have more time to practice helping communities because we are doing it in school. We are the next generation, and all of us can make this happen even if you aren't in CATA yet. We'll have more time to make history or even help our communities in any way possible. After all, we are CATA students.
I feel this class has broadened my perspective on life. I've been learning things such as media bias, things about the Black Lives Matter movement, learning about activists in today's life that are helping others, etc. I know that other kids don't need or want to know about how many dish soaps Johnny has, but learning about things going on in the world around me is more fascinating to me than anything. I don't want kids to get out of school and be clueless as to what's even happening on the other side of the world. It's time for us, even us as children, to take part of helping the world become a better place. There's so much information you can learn by taking this class.
There are so many more student testimonials, including a few in this presentation. The importance of offering this curriculum can't be overstated, and we look forward to fully developing and implementing it over the coming years. Thank you again for your time and consideration of this curriculum proposal. It's been a pleasure presenting it to you.
Nice job.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you so much. Ms. Naylor, Mrs. Gresham, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. A great presentation. It's just great to hear the testimony of the students, because that tells you right there how important it is to them.
It was very important to them from the beginning. We really focused on creating a student-led approach because we want to develop independent, self-directed learners. That's what they need to go to college. That's what they need to go into the workforce. That's what they need to be citizens.
Right.
And so over a 4-year period, we would start with really, a very, very guided approach and then slowly release over time. So by the senior year, the students will be really completely self-directed pretty much and diving into their own passions to create a body of work that the community can then view, hear, see, participate in, that makes statements and shows what they've accomplished.
Right.
Absolutely. Mr. Kelly?
Thank you. One of the things I want to just point out was one of the first slides about Portrait of the Graduate. Our school is going to be one of the schools in cohort 1. So this class is one of the things that lines up with what we're doing for Portrait of the Graduate and what we're going to be testing out as one of the first schools involved in it. So it'd be really valuable for us in that area. Thank you.
That's great.
Fantastic. Yeah. Mrs. Naylor?
No, I don't have any questions. I just echo the sentiments of Mrs. Gresham as well, and excited about this opportunity for our kids.
Yes.
Yeah. Fantastic. That was very well done. Thank you, Mrs. Rosegarden. So if there are no further questions or comments, is there a motion to move this forward to the full school committee?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Motion moved by Mrs. Gresham, seconded by Mrs. Naylor. Terry, could you please call the roll?
Sure. Ms. Hurst,
Yes.
Ms. Gresham,
Yes.
and Ms. Naylor.
Yes.
Fantastic. This matter passes. Thank you all. Is there any other items before us this afternoon?
Nope.
All right. Is there thank you all for your time. This is exciting. We'll see some of you when you come before the full committee.
Thank you.
in a
We
few
appreciate
weeks.
it. We will definitely give you updates.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that
You're
was
welcome.
great.
Thank you all. We need a motion to adjourn. Sorry.
I motion to adjourn. So moved.
Oh, I lost you on the screen, Terry. I thought you hung up.
No, you're-
Can I have a second?
Second.
All right. So motion
roll
by
call.
Mrs. Gresham. Yeah. Second by Mrs. Naylor. Roll
And
call.
Ms. Hurst,
Yes.
Ms. Gresham,
Yes.
and Ms. Naylor.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
You're very welcome.
you.